Welcome to the PSNORKIS podcast, a show with real topics discussed by real people with real opinions and tempered with a real sense of humour. Now here are your two PSNORKISers. Or is it PSNORKI? Screw it. Here are your hosts, Dr. Myke and The Madman.
Oh, a microphony.
And a phony at the mic. Whoa!
Buckle up, it's time to take another ride on the PSNORKIS. The PSNORKIS podcast, where anything can happen, and it usually does, whether we want it to or not. Go ahead, Mike, what?
You're low.
I'm low?
Can't hear you. Yeah,
Really?
it's like really low.
Oh, wow. I gotta work on this processor.
That sounds good now, but when you were saying it before, I couldn't hear you.
Okay.
Weird.
Wow. Yeah, and of course, in the mix in my headphones is completely
That's
different.
good? Really?
Yeah, it's different from that. Okay, well, that's all right. Anyway, hey, I'm one of your hosts. I'm the Madman. I'm also the engineer, which is why I'm messing around with all the buttons, knobs, and dials, which is just a hobby of mine anyway. But sitting to my right is the guy that helps me do this all, and that is my partner, Dr. Myke.
Thank you, Madman.
Thank you, Dr. Myke.
It's good to finally hear you now. Now I can hear you. And this is a great rendition today. We have, thanks to Legacy Coffee and the Pendulum Society, we're doing a true crime episode.
True crime.
True crime.
Dude, that's popular these days.
It is. What do you think of true crime? You a fan of true crime?
You know what? I am.
Yeah.
I am. I mean, I'm not like a super fan. I mean, true crime shows and sci-fi, I do tend to like, you know, I'll go Sci-Fi Channel every time, but that's, although that's, if I'm flipping around and there's nothing specific on, I see the true crime shows, I'll pop one on, and if it catches me within the first 2 minutes, I'm liable to watch the rest of it.
Nice. So if it's a true crime that they offed somebody in a sci-fi manner, you're all in, right?
Oh yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, that's what it's up.
That would be cool.
Nice. Well, this case is going to be kind of right down that alley. It's not too sci-fi, but it's out there, man. It's out there.
You were telling me a little bit about it, but I told you not to tell me everything because I like to be surprised.
I like surprise. Ready?
Yes.
Ready to be surprised?
Let's be surprised.
Okay. This true crime takes us way down south, Florida. Lake County, Florida, where we're talking about... Oh, that's better. I like that.
Yeah, and it timed out right, too.
Yeah, that's good.
It's called hitting the post.
Post.
Yes.
So we're down in Florida. We have Lori and we have Michael Shaver. Okay.
Timeline.
2018 is what we're looking at.
Oh, only 3 years ago.
Not too long. I mean, a lot of things are going to take place up until 2018. 2018 are when the remains of Mr. Michael are found.
Oh, okay.
So the backstory real quick is Mr. Shaver works at Walt Disney World down in Florida. He's an airline mechanic, which you can relate to.
I can indeed.
So he works on the monorail.
I know Disney likes to hire what actually were A&P mechanics, airframe power plant mechanics, because we know a little bit more than just a general mechanic, and we are very used to following specific manufacturer guidelines for repairing pieces of equipment.
Nice. Would you ever...
We don't just like use a piece of tape or wire just to temporarily fix it. We actually have to get the right parts and fix it right.
You have to mechanic sometimes.
Yes.
Well, that's good. Would you ever work on a monorail?
Would I?
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Those things are cool.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, let's say you're working on the monorail and you disappear, like Michael. Michael disappears, and for 3 years, nobody hears from him. 3. That's a long time. 3 years. So...
Is he married?
He's married.
Okay.
Married to Lori.
Okay. Oh, that's right. You did mention that.
Lori and Michael.
And Lori didn't like file a missing persons report or anything?
She did not.
Or?
So now there's no missing report
I'm
filed.
To see where this might go.
Because during the 3 years, friends and family of Michael are getting messages from Michael, from Michael's phone, from Michael's Facebook saying, I don't want to be bothered. Leave me alone. I just want to be left alone. I'm moving to Georgia. I want no part of the family. Just leave me alone. So they leave him alone.
Okay.
So, I mean, 3 years, it's a stretch.
Is Lori getting messages too?
Lori's getting messages at one point. We'll get into that in 1 minute. because there's a message from one of Michael's relatives that I didn't tell you about yet.
Okay, but
So-
is she getting messages from her, supposedly from her husband's phone?
She is not, but she is.
Well, isn't that interesting that
That
he's
is
telling
interesting.
everybody else to leave him alone,
leave him
but
alone.
they're not he's not telling her. Did anybody try? Well, she didn't file a missing persons report.
She did not, but one of Michael's friends files a missing person report on 3 years later. So in 2018, 2015, the missing person report is filed, and they go to do a wellness check on Lori and to find where Michael is, if he's there.
So it takes a friend of his 3 years
3
to
years.
decide that maybe we'll do a wellness check on him.
And this is what I was telling you. I have family.
I guess they were really close. huh?
They have to be. I have family that I haven't talked to in more than that, maybe 10 years.
I have family I don't ever want to talk to again,
Right.
but you know that story too.
But I mean, at what point would you say, okay, I haven't heard from them in my case, 10 years. Let me send the police over and see what's going on. Especially if they're writing me saying, I don't want to be bothered. Don't talk to me.
So I'm thinking if no official police report was filed for missing persons, then they didn't try pinging his phone to see where these messages were coming from.
Right.
You know, where they were originating.
Well, why would you? If you heard from somebody in your family that just got a text message saying, leave me alone, you wouldn't think to, hey, let's ping this and find out.
Well, yeah, but I mean, again, that goes to his wife. If his wife was supposed, but you said she never reported getting these messages because wouldn't she be the one to go, hey, my husband's missing?
Well, what
It's
she tells police.
and people are saying they're getting messages from him. Find out where his phone is, dude.
Well, what she says to police is that he packed up his stuff, got in a pickup truck, and took off and doesn't want to be bothered by the family. He's out of the marriage. He's gone. So the missing person report
And she was
is
okay
filed.
with that.
She was okay. Well, he wanted out. So missing person filed. They go to do a wellness check on the house. They knock on the door. Lori answers, hey, we want to come in and look around for Michael. Fine. She agrees. She's more than happy to have them look around the property. At some point, they ask to get cadaver dogs in to check the property. And at that point, Lori has a problem and says, go get a warrant. So,
That's got to raise a few hairs in the back of some people's heads.
I mean, would you, if you did something nasty on your property and you know somebody's somewhere on your property, would you have an issue with the cops checking out your property?
I guess.
I mean, you would let them come in, and if you had nothing to hide, but if you had something to hide,
Nothing to hide. It's like, go ahead, take a look around.
but if you did have something to hide, if you had PD stuffed in the oven over there and the police are coming in to check, would you be like, come on in and check?
Probably not.
Probably not, I would say. So the police do get their search warrant. Actually, they get two. They come back with cadaver dogs. They come back with backhoes. They dig up 5 acres of their property. Damn. And what they find is underneath the newly constructed fire pit out back, underneath the concrete slab, they find Michael wrapped in a sheet, still with the socks and underwear on, dead. Done.
Well, I doubt they find him alive underneath all of that, but okay.
So now at this point,
So-
the police start to backtrack.
So what happened?
Well-
They have an argument. Was it one of those, honey, I want a fire pit? And he says, what, over my dead body?
There you have it. That's it. And they both win. That's it. So now the police start
sorry.
to do their
No, I'm
homework.
not.
And now they find...
You're welcome, by the way.
Thank you so much. Now they find Lori has been draining the bank account. Lori has been selling off Michael's guns, Michael's property, Michael's tools, Michael's... did I say trucks? There's all his trucks off. So now everything's starting to make sense. So what happens is...
I was wondering, because he's an A&P working for Disney. I can tell you right now, he's making a decent living. What did she do? Anything? Or was
I
she
didn't
just a
check. I didn't
housewife?
check on that.
Okay.
But, I mean, she's just a murderer at this
Yeah.
point. Allegedly,
I mean,
she's
she
a murderer.
still had to keep the house going, obviously.
Well, she had help keeping the house with her new boyfriend.
Oh, I didn't
Who
know this. part.
ironically
Okay.
remarries and has an outdoor wedding right by the fire pit.
No.
So they have
No.
an outside wedding.
Wow.
So I guess her ex-husband was at the the ceremony, so that's good. Didn't have to. I mean, they saved money on the invitation, I'm sure. But some of the things that...
Did he order the chicken or the steak?
I don't know what they had.
Okay, I'm just wondering.
But I mean, for this lady, I'm trying to think of the amount of hate that it takes to hate somebody. I mean, everybody has said, I hate you so much, I'll kill you. But I mean, that's a lot of hate to actually do it, for one. And for two, to go throw you out in the backyard, plan to build something on top of you, concrete you in, and then enjoy,
and then
not
start
only
selling stuff off, and then
start,
remarry, and then stay at the same house.
And then try to play it off by telling all the family.
What kind of loser did she marry that she's like, hey, we'll get married and we're going to live here?
Well, that's the part of the case that takes turns and twists, because they're trying to see.
I have a logical mind about this. That is a good logical mind. I have questions to ask.
They're trying to see if he knew about it, because these two are the ones that they didn't hire a contractor. So they bought cement. They rented a mixer. They laid the slab.
Oh, the two of them
built
that.
So the strange part of the case is, as you get towards the end,
we're gonna build our fire pit over here in this area right here. See where this like little lump of mound of dirt is?
We're just going to level that out.
Put it right up. We'll level it out a little bit, but we're just gonna put it right there.
Well, that's part of the question: is did he know what he was? I mean, if somebody asked you to, hey, we're going to save money and do this ourselves, and we're going to concrete this out here, and they're like, this is the area we're going to do you question? Or you just say, yeah, this is a good area? I mean, why would you think?
Yeah, unless...
What do you think?
You were either in on it, or you just had absolutely no clue.
Idea, right? Well, that's part of the case that they still don't know. So that's why at the end, she gets charged with second-degree domestic homicide and not first-degree murder, and also accessory to after the fact second-degree homicide. So to become an accessory after the fact, it usually has to do with some sort of cover-up.
Right.
So if you don't have enough evidence for a first-degree murder, there's a premeditation element to it that you need to prove. Okay, so I don't know if that's the angle they're going to, and they didn't have enough evidence. They never mention how Michael dies. They don't know how he dies. All we know is he's dead. I don't think they have enough.
He was missing for what, 2 years?
Years. He was missing for 5.
For 5? Yeah, how long? Yeah, okay. So
he's missing for 3.
For 3, I'm sorry.
All right, he was missing for 3. They find him at 3 years after he's missing, and then she gets charged 2 years after that. So 5 years.
So they
later.
found him in 3 years.
3 years.
All right. Yeah, they still. Well, obviously they exhumed him because it wasn't a proper grave, but right. I'm sure they could still do some sort of.
The amount of
medical examination on him, and
maybe, but it might not have been enough to determine how he died.
It's possible, especially because his body wasn't properly prepared before being thrown in the ground, and he was just thrown in the ground, not a coffin, not the vault and everything that helps preserve everything. So yeah, I guess maybe at that point, maybe there isn't as much you can do to figure out. Maybe
not. One of the key things.
I don't know much about that part of the forensics.
I don't either, but it's fascinating.
It is absolutely.
I could do a whole show on that, just fascination.
Dude, they have these farms, these body farms. I don't know if you know about it. They have these body farms where people will die and donate their bodies because that may not have any next of kin anymore or anything like that, and they'll take them out and they'll bury them at different levels without proper burial. To see what a body will do, like a murdered victim would do, they'll go back and dig them up at certain, and then see what.
Let's see what level.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I never knew that.
Yeah. People donate their bodies to that, and they treat them very respectfully.
Well, but they wouldn't know.
And they will leave some people out, literally on the top, just cover them with leaves. Like, some people throw someone in the woods real quick.
Right.
See how long it takes for everything to break down, stuff like that. They say it's a horrible smell. They say it's a terrible place. But these
you think that's like a training academy for a forensic? That's what they do.
Absolutely is. Yes. Wow. No, these are real things. Wow. There are only like 2 or 3 of them throughout the country, but they are for exactly that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy, but I mean,
they're legitimate training facilities.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a terrible job.
I can't believe you didn't know
I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
But I've never been that into forensics.
That's, again, one of the things I did see on TV one time.
That's good.
Yeah.
I like that. I never knew that. That's freaky, actually.
It really is. It is freaky, but it's perfect. It's all legitimate. It's all documented proper and everything like that. So, in fact, there was one case where somebody found a body
On the farm?
Yeah, where they're going, okay, this one's, what's this one over here? Wait a minute, no, we didn't put it. Let me check my paperwork. Hey, Frank, did you put one over? No, me neither. What the hell's it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're only supposed to have 8.
It's a good place to hide a body.
Son of a
Sounds like a good place to hide a body to me.
Yeah, somebody did try it once. That was I could. I don't know what happened. I was laughing so hard because I'm sorry. I found that funny.
That is funny.
That is a good place to get rid of somebody.
That is a good place. You wouldn't even have to slaughter an animal on top of it or anything.
No.
So, I mean, I don't know much about concreting over somebody that's decomposing, but I'm assuming there's some sort of smell that would still. I mean, depending on how he was found.
It depends. Was he encased in the concrete, or he was just in the ground and they built concrete over him? You know.
Yeah. Do you think if he's encased in it, we capture the smell?
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
But then eventually it leaves a void in the concrete, which weakens that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. So
then again, they never found Jimmy Hoffa yet either. So
not yet. They moved Giant Stadium too, so I don't know what's going to happen.
That'd crack me up. They start tearing that.
They're never going to
tearing
find
that
him.
up. I'm like, hey.
There's too many holes in the desert.
Yeah, there's too many holes all over the world.
Yeah, never. So there's tons and tons that happen with this case. One of the things that derails her genius plan, because after a certain amount of time, you have to imagine, hey, I'm getting away with this. I'm texting and nobody's catching on.
Oh, the longer you go, the more confident you get. Sure.
So at one point, one of Michael's nieces responds to Michael's phone with her maiden name, and Lori responds like, "Who is this? I don't know who you are." And that raises a red flag because she's like, "How do you not know who I am? I'm your niece."
Ooh, she should have just let that go.
Right. So the police, they take some IP addresses of some of the messages from Facebook, and that's eventually how they pinpoint that, hey, it's not Michael, it's Lori.
And it's all right there at the house.
Right. So
she couldn't even be bothered to drive a few 100 miles up to Georgia to send a text and make it look good at least.
I mean, I think she thought it all out, which, I mean, you know, at one point I thought there was maybe a contractor involved, and I didn't know it was both of them until we got into it. So now I'm thinking, if the contractor's doing it, it's the same thing. If the boyfriend is unaware that there's a body there, contractor would be the same way.
Contractor, same way. If she buried it like 3, 4, 5 feet, the contractor's only going to dig down about a foot, maybe 1.5 feet, just to level it.
Right.
And then pack it with stone, and then put the concrete on top of it so that the concrete won't crack. And
okay, let me ask you this now. Let's say Lori's innocent, right? Even though she's charged with second degree. So let's say the boyfriend does it. So now if the boyfriend is saying, what if Lori doesn't know anything about it? And he's like, this is where we need to put the slab. This is where we need to build a fire pit. And she's like, oh, okay. And it's a stretch. I mean, she's been doing all this stuff, texting and messaging.
She was the one that was happily selling off his stuff and not wondering if he was ever going to come back to get. No.
True.
No, that's pretty easy to say that. While he may have been complicit, he may have been a part of it. He wasn't the one that did it without her knowledge. No.
Right, and what further digs her grave is she starts dating immediately after he goes missing. So she's lots of boyfriends.
You know how many people get nailed because of that?
Because somebody's out of the way now.
Yeah, because they've been having a secret affair all this time. It's like, oh, they're gone. Oh, hey, you know what? Yeah. No, you still got to let some time. People are stupid. Wow. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love stupid criminals.
Oh, I love stupid. Stupid's entertaining.
Stupid's entertaining, and it makes it a lot easier to just wrap that case right up.
Yeah. So she dates. She's multiple boyfriends. One boyfriend, she's also involved with a married man, and she gets so involved at one point she sends a message from her dead husband now to the married man's wife. saying she sends flowers and a note signed from her dead husband saying, I'm sleeping with your wife. I'm sorry, my wife is sleeping with your husband, and exposes all of that. So that's a twisted mind in itself.
What the hell?
You know? So it's not only is the husband out of the way, now she wants everybody out of the way so she can do whatever she wants. But, you know, to each their own, I guess. Now the boyfriend, and this is what makes me think that it's her, because the boyfriend has heard Lori say stuff like, my husband is no longer walking this earth, and, you know, he's buried somewhere on the property. You know, she shoots random statements like that out. So her boyfriend actually tries to go and look for the divorce records and can't find anything because there's no divorce record on a dead man.
Now there's something else. They got married though.
Those two, yes, Lori and Michael.
So it's not really her boyfriend; it's her second husband.
Well, yes.
Okay, so they got married, but there was no certificate of divorce.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
There was no divorce decree or whatever it is you call that. I mean, I know when Petey and I got married, you know, she had been previously married, and she had to wait for all of that. And
well, let's say that Petey says, "Oh yeah, my ex-husband, he just took off one day, got in the car, and he took off."
But it's not a question of that. In order for the county of records to accept the new to get your marriage license to get married again, you have to show that you're no longer married to your first, and it takes longer than a couple of years of missing to do that.
Yeah. Well,
I think it's 7 years of missing or something like that. That's when
to be termed dead.
They'll be presumed dead, and it's like, okay, go ahead. But 3 years? Who allow? That's another thing.
Well, maybe they didn't get married. I'm not sure. Maybe he's just the boyfriend.
Oh, I thought you told me that
Michael. I thought you meant Michael and Laura.
No,
those two are married. The boyfriend. No, this is just the boyfriend.
You used the term remarried at one point.
Oh well, I might have misspoken. I'm not sure about that.
Okay,
I'll have to check.
Kick you in your PSNORKIS.
So, I mean, sometimes that's okay, you know.
But have you ever been kicked in the PSNORKIS? It's not okay.
It's not okay.
It is absolutely not okay.
It doesn't even care the size of the foot.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
It really doesn't.
It's not good. But there's a ton of interesting stuff on this topic. There's talk about a life insurance policy. There's talk about no life insurance policy. The defense attorney is trying to prove that she's a victim of domestic violence.
He's buried underneath the fire pit, and she's the victim of domestic
she's the
violence.
Victim, and then this would be self-defense.
Mind you, and I absolutely believe in that, and I've had many cases of that, and I'm perfectly fine with that. Mm-hmm. But if you have to kill somebody in self-defense, and again, big fan, I have no problem.
Fan.
I shouldn't say it. I'm a big fan.
Advocate. But
not even that. I have no problem with that. Let's put it this way.
Okay.
If it's all legal and there is justification, then it is what it is. Not a problem. Okay. I'm big into people being able to defend themselves.
Gotcha.
All right. If you kill somebody legitimately in self-defense, why do you need to hide the body?
Maybe you're scared. Well, maybe you're scared. Maybe Michael died accidentally, and she's just covering the body up.
Again, died accidentally. They'll figure that out.
Unless you freak. I haven't been put in that situation. I don't know.
No, that's true. I haven't either. Well,
yeah, not that we know of. Yeah. But I mean, who knows how one will act? But if you're going to prove self-defense, that's something that you need to establish. There's police records of her filing about domestic violence in their past. Workers of Michael said he used to show up and he would have scratches and bruises like he was in an altercation. So who knows? Maybe they were.
Here's the thing. Was he the abuser or was she?
Who knows? She could have been the ultimate abuser.
Scratches and stuff like that. I mean, I also know specifically of somebody who was a friend of mine where it was exactly that. She
was the abuser. He was the abuser. They were the abuser.
Yeah. Pronouns. They're so confusing anymore. No. It was exactly the opposite of what you would have thought.
Okay.
They thought he was the abuser, obviously.
And he was not.
He was the victim. He was the one that was being abused. Yeah.
Like a Johnny Depp.
I mean, it finally came out, of course.
Yeah.
It finally came out, but it took a while because everyone looked at him strange, you know?
Yeah.
I'm like, look at the injuries. He's the one with the injuries. She's the one just saying that he got injured beating her up.
I mean, you can get injuries.
What you do? Accidentally scratch yourself on her nails 6 times? I didn't stab him. He ran into my knife like
True.
7 or 8 times.
I've known knives like that.
Yeah.
I've known
What
those.
the hell?
But I mean, if you're the instigator, everyone's got hurt throwing a punch before. So, I mean, who's more? How can you tell who got hit or who threw the hit? You know what I mean?
Right.
You're still gonna have scratches or marks. No
Yeah,
matter
but
what.
when the person supposedly abusing has more injuries on them than the person supposedly being abused, something's not right.
I agree. And that takes you to, if you're that unhappy in a marriage, I mean, at what point, if you're a victim of domestic violence, that's an entirely different show altogether. So if you're in that, I mean, if you're just unhappy, let's just scale it back. Let's say you're unhappy in a marriage. At what point are you like, okay, it's easy to just walk away, break this off and get out of this, or I hate you so much, I'm going to kill you now. I mean, where's the line? I don't know. I'm not married. Haven't been married. I think it's a good thing I haven't been married. So I might walk that line. I'm not sure. What do you think? The Madman has a thought on this. I know. It's brewing.
Yeah, well,
America wants to know what Madman's thinking about happy marriages.
Oh, I've got one. I like mine.
Yeah, I know you do. But I'm saying, at what point, just say.
Married for 6 years this year.
Good.
Been together for 13.
Nice.
We haven't had a major argument yet. Do we always agree on certain issues? No.
Of course not.
But have we ever had like when I say fight, I don't mean anything. There'd never be anything physical between us like that because neither one of us is wired that way.
Right.
But have we ever even really raised our voices to each other? No. We both get that. We'll both get like a little snarky to each other.
Like PSNORKI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We won't PSNORKI. Isn't that the name of the chick that's the press secretary now? PSNORKI or something like that?
Close enough.
Because she is. That's for damn sure. Anyway. Hers one I wouldn't mind a little bit of a... Never mind. Never mind.
That's another show, too.
No. Never mind. Never mind. I don't wish domestic abuse on anybody.
No. Not at all. Not a fan.
Except her.
Yeah.
But no, that's the way we handle it. When we're a little pissed off at each other, we both get this sarcastic, snarky, like, well,
right.
That's what we do.
But you're both level-headed.
So, yeah,
cool down.
That's right. We've never actually
down.
had and she will get to the point, I just don't want to talk right now. I'm like, okay.
And that's good. That's healthy.
Yeah,
I think that's
very
super healthy. Rather than somebody that's like knows you're getting aggravated and then pushes your buttons and keeps pushing,
right?
Because they want to see you explode,
right? And we're both midlife. Mm-hmm. We both got married later on. Well, she'd been married once before, and I guess she got that all out of her system. But I'd never been married, but I've had plenty of people I've had to fight with,
right?
In past relationships, and I think we're both just at the point where it's like we're just not going to fight. We're not. Neither one of us is going to go anywhere. We love each other. We know neither one of us is going to. So it's just like we just need to be a little bitchy right now. That's all.
But I mean, this is if you're eliminating the possibility of a third party. So if a third party is in the way, or there's a new interest that's introduced, and now your significant other is in the way. I mean, does that level of hatred grow to resentment and then grow to where you snap and then you have no control? Or is it something where...
To some people, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some people that aren't as well adjusted as I am.
Yeah.
And believe me, there aren't too many people that call me well adjusted.
Well,
trust me. I'm one of them. Yeah. I don't call me well adjusted. And yet that's just something that's... I just can't fathom,
right?
Like,
normal people can't. They don't have that thought process.
Yeah, but there are some people that are. There are some people that It's not that they just don't have the self-control. They just are more high-strung to begin with. So to them, it's like it's easier to just get the problem out of the way or the obstacle out of the way one way or another and just go on with it from there.
All right. Well,
And that's what it becomes. That person becomes just something in the way, just a hurdle to be overcome.
right. And some people just snap and see nothing but red. And
Right.
see rage, and
Yep.
that's it. And then that goes to
I'm seeing nothing but red right now, but that's because my on-air sign is
you're
only
on
a
air.
few feet away from me.
don't
here,
get
so.
mad at that.
Yeah.
Don't do that. But I mean, if there's a history of domestic violence in there, I'm sure that adds another level of difficulty to the situation.
Sure.
So, I mean, at one point with Michael and this situation here, he would his wife, and they're both accused of domestic violence here. So now workers of Michael would get text messages
Coworkers.
from coworkers. Would get text messages from Michael's phone saying, I think she's trying to kill me. I think she's after my life insurance policy. And one of his workers was like, well, she would have to kill you first. And his response was, I think she tried yesterday. And that's all part of
this is something new. So this happened before he disappeared?
Before he disappeared. However, the new wrinkle towards the end of this is...
And nobody said anything?
Well, is this all hearsay? Because now the defense attorney for Lori is saying that there was no life insurance policy at all. So now who knows what's going on, you know what I mean? But if you're going to paint a picture of a domestic violence to get rid of somebody, then yes, you get police reports in, and now there's a history. Now
Right.
all of a sudden
Yes.
it disappeared.
Right.
Right. Okay. Well, that'll make you think every time you go to somebody's house to have a fire. That's for sure. When people say fire's on, that means a whole lot more. So thank you to Legacy and to Pendulum for that true crime case. That is
Wow.
quite fascinating. Yeah.
That one is. I got to admit, I'm glad you brought that one.
That's
that
a good one.
It has me with a lot of questions.
It's a very interesting case.
And
if
it's
you
only
read-
within the last 5 years
Yeah, it's
all
not
of
too
this
old.
happened.
Yeah.
So, that's why I get the technical questions. Why didn't somebody try to ping the guy's phone, see where these messages are coming, where it was active?
Well,
when
the police did.
The messages were sent.
That's how this was part of
and
the
guess
unraveling.
what? It wasn't from Georgia.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, and he had good reception from down under, so so that's good. So at this point, I think we should take a break, and we'll have our sponsors pay our commercial fees, and we'll be back.
We'll be back in just a minute. Stay where you are. All right, and we're back.
I love Legacy Coffee.
Me too.
Just saying. Even on the little breaks, it's like a switch
Yeah.
right down.
Yep.
Pick you right up. Good stuff, though. So we have true crime. So that was a good.
I like that.
I like
It's-
good true crime stuff. Sometimes it's fascinating.
I have to admit that one was an interesting case, a very interesting case.
Yeah, if you dig into the details of
Dig
that
into
one,
it.
yeah, see what I did there? Yeah, and I think next time we do our true crime, we'll have PD in here, and she'll be able to throw her perspective on it.
She does like that stuff.
She likes that.
She likes that a lot. Like I said,
good.
I'm kind of getting into it,
Yeah,
but she's always liked it. So
I think it's fascinating because this is stuff that you actually have to think people have actually done. Like you just read about it and you're like, I can't believe somebody would do that.
It's not like driving down the streets of Chicago and somebody got shot. It's like, wait, what day is it? Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
It ends in Y. Okay, yeah, been there, done that. But
Poor Chicago.
These are right.
But no, I understand what you're saying. You're right.
These are cases that are kind of just like make you like
They baffle you.
What took so long for someone to realize that the guy was gone?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that part's
You
not
know,
strange to me because, like I said, I even have friends that, hey, we're great friends, and I don't talk to you for months and months and months. But when I see you again or talk to you again, it's like we haven't lost
Really,
anything.
how many? Right? Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But how many people walk away from a decent job and everything and
Never see him again.
just leave everything and didn't say, hey, today's my last day. Hey, I'm quitting. Hey, send my last check here.
But I have.
Who
but
just walks away
I've
and
had-
just leaves everything in the past? Just like
I've had dozens of people quit on me. You know what I mean? That were just one day you're expecting them to show up, next day gone, not there.
Yeah.
You know what
but
I mean?
somewhere along, they contact you to tell you where to send the last check, don't they?
Right. But if I call and say, hey, look, I'm looking to send his last check. Where should I send it? Oh, he's not here anymore. She's not here anymore. They left. They got in the truck and took off. I have no idea where they are.
Oh, really? So
know
that
what I
has happened with you?
No, but I'm saying that
Oh.
could happen. See, you bought it.
Yeah.
It could happen, right? So, but I have had people just not show up. Never saw them again one day ever. You know what I mean? So they're the whole last day. Next day, gone. Never saw them again.
Okay. Yeah.
To me, it wouldn't raise a red flag. That's what I'm saying. I mean, I have people I don't talk to for years. You know, that's just the way it is. Life gets in the way.
Oh yeah, I've got a couple of friends that are like that.
You know, but then when you talk to them,
yeah, it's like, you know, we have our own thing. We talk to each other, and we will talk to each other like for hours.
right?
And it's like, let's not let it be so long. Yeah, man, it can't
It
be
always
so
ends
long.
that
Yeah,
way. It always
All right,
ends that
I'll talk
way.
to you next
And
week.
then you
Yeah,
don't
me
see 'em.
too.
Yeah.
Year later,
That's
hey,
it.
I was thinking about you today. That's funny. I was thinking about you last week, but I didn't get a chance to call right away.
That just happened with me, and that's exactly the last phone call. Hey, you know, can't wait to see you again. Haven't seen you in a couple of years. Hey, let's try. Oh, you moved out of state. Okay, next time I'm down that way, I'll try and get to you. Okay, then what happens next is let's not have it so long till we see each other again. The next thing you know, you're at their viewing or you're at their funeral, and that's it. And that's what happens. And that's happened way too much to me, especially recently. But that's it. Life gets in the way, especially during this crisis that's going on.
You know my friend Cheryl.
I do.
Yeah. We have been friends for 48 years. We grew up next to each other when we were kids. We literally lived next door to each other. She still lives in that house. It was her dad's. And she is only, you know, from here, literally 7 miles away, maybe straight line, if that.
From here.
Yeah.
Right.
From here to the township.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I
Never see her, right?
Yeah. But every once in a while, one will think of the other, you know, and it's funny. I will be thinking of her, and this happened 2 months ago. I was thinking about her when we were on vacation because I saw something. And I looked at my wife and said, "Hey, you know, Cheryl would like that." She goes, "Yeah, we haven't talked to her in a while." I said, "No, we haven't." Got back home, and later on that week, first week back, my phone rings, and it was her.
It's
She
her?
goes, you know, and then I've been the other way where she's thought about me, and I'll call her. She goes, "You know, I was thinking about you the other day."
That's freaky. That's
well, yeah, some people say that is freaky.
That's like
and
intuition.
And I can understand that, but I've had stuff like that going on in my life, all my life. Yeah. So to me, that's almost normal.
Gotcha.
That's not freaky. It's just kind of the way things go with me. Leah, Petey, and I, you know, my wife, we'll be sitting upstairs. We'll be talking about something completely unrelated to anything else we're doing. And a few hours later, we flip on the TV, watching TV, and a show comes on about that topic.
Really?
Or an episode
of
an old show that's been long since canceled,
right?
But a rerun dealing with that topic that we just talked about a couple hours before.
Big Brother's watching. That's what it is.
You know,
Big Brother's watching.
Well, that's not what I mean. That's not the only. That's not the only.
Well, we're going to get into that.
We're going to.
We're going to have lots of topics.
But I'm used to that stuff.
Yeah.
My dad and I, though we didn't have the most perfect relationship, I can't tell you how many times when I was a kid, my dad would be in the TV room. We had a living room with a TV, and then we had the living room where nobody lived in. You used it at Christmas time.
The show.
Right. You stayed,
room. Yeah.
and people don't know what that's like anymore. But to me, that was perfectly normal.
Yeah.
There's a living room where you can look in it, but don't go in there.
That was for company.
Till the Christmas tree comes in. Then it's ours for a couple of weeks every year. After that, it's like, all right, you've had your fun. Got to wait till next December. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he'd be in the TV room. I'd go down the hall through the dining room. It was a large floor plan, actually. Be halfway into the kitchen, And I swore I heard my dad say, "Hey, while you're in there, would you grab me an iced tea?" Make the iced tea. Come back in. Come on. Hey, Dad, here's your iced tea. He goes, "What's this for?" I said, "You called for me to get it for you." He said, "No, but I was thinking about it, but I never did."
Oh, you're touching on some good stuff
And
that we're going to get into.
Well, that happened to Petey and I not too long ago.
With iced tea?
No, no, it was something else. And she said she heard me plainly say something. I actually don't remember what it was. 'Cause, like I said, these things happen to me all the time. So I don't really keep track of them because it's just a normal part of me. Right. Yeah. And she said, "What was that for?" I said, no, I'm sorry. I said, "What was that for?"
Right.
And she said, "Well, you asked me for it." I'm like, no, I didn't. I said, "I was thinking about it, but then I'm like, yeah, I get it myself." She's like, "I heard you say," yeah, no,
wow, that's a connection.
Yeah.
That's a connection.
Yeah. So
have you ever
like
been
I said,
like,
that stuff happens all the time.
Have you ever been like, "Hey, tell me what number I'm thinking of"?
No.
Never done.
Nope.
Okay. Ever been hypnotized? Anything like that?
There's nothing I can do on command. There's nothing I can do. I wish I could, obviously, because that could be a useful trait.
Yeah.
It's just something that happens.
Just happens. That's good. And it's good and it's bad.
You remember my aunt? She passed
Yes.
away back in 2016. In 2018, I was walking through the hangar at work, just, doing my job, and I heard her voice say, "Go over that way. Go to this plane."
Right.
And I was like, okay. I mean, it's not like I was talking. I just heard.
Were you alone in the hangar?
No, that's
Okay.
just it.
Okay.
I heard her voice say, "Go over," and I walked over there, and just as I was getting close to that, a part that somebody left on top of the aircraft,
Would it
which
hit
they
you?
shouldn't have.
Yeah.
No, it was just an expensive part.
Oh.
They left it there only for a couple minutes. They went to go get a special tool for it, but they left it in a place where they shouldn't have. That part started to slide down, and I was able to catch it.
No way. That's
I was
crazy.
able to grab it before it hit the ground and cost like a $70,000 mistake.
Wow. Yeah, we're gonna get into stuff like that. I can't wait.
And
That's gonna be
I
good.
just like, and again,
But you heard it
I didn't
clear
even
as
tell.
day, right?
I didn't even tell. Yes.
Yeah.
And I didn't. But it was her voice. I didn't even have that job yet when she passed away.
Okay, but have you heard her voice before that? After she passed?
Honestly, no. I mean, I've had some
that was like the
dreams where I've
first-
talked to her
Yeah.
in my dreams.
Yeah.
And I still do, even though we're not in that house anymore. Very occasionally, I have dreams where Leon, Petey and I go on vacation.
Right.
And because one time early in our relationship, we went to a cousin's wedding out in Colorado, and we drove out there. It was my aunt, Petey, and me. Mm-hmm. And we just had a fantastic time. Fantastic time. So there are many times where I have these dreams where we're on vacation, and my aunt joins us.
Still.
Yeah. I get those dreams every once in a while, and I like
cool,
them.
though.
I find them to be very
Yeah,
very
that's
nice
cool, though.
dreams.
Yeah.
They're the ones you wake up from, look at the clock, go, "Oh, I got another hour and a half to go." Try to get back to sleep and pick back up on it.
Yeah.
But you never do.
You never do.
You never do.
I've had at one point where I used to have an office upper state New York, so I would drive there every morning, and coming home, I had about 250 people that worked for me at that time, and everyone had a cell phone, and I was on the phone all day long with 100, So when I would finally leave to go home, and everybody I knew they were home and done, my phone, I would put it on the passenger seat next to me to drive home. It's like 2-hour drive home. I swear to God, clear as day, I hear that phone ring. I'd pick it up multiple times. Hello? There's nobody there. Phone not ringing. You know what I mean? Just they're so used to hearing it. That's completely different. But that's the only way I can relate to how you do that. I've never had somebody that I could hear in my voice or in my head say,
Well,
tell me to do
you don't
something.
hear it in your head. You hear it in your ears.
Like
you're
they're
actually,
standing
like I'm
right
hearing
there.
you right now.
That's crazy. Not crazy, but
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I know.
Baffling, yeah. Not like your Looney Tunes.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I am.
Well, yeah. You
But
are.
it's got nothing to do with that.
Right. So, yeah, and you know what? I can't wait to get into topics like that, and I hope we have,
we're
Pastor
going
Eric
to.
here, and I
We're
hope
gonna have some,
BJ from the Lube is
Oh,
here,
yeah.
and I hope the full panel's here.
My friend Cheryl, the one that started this conversation, because we mentioned that with friends that we don't talk to, but they're not, when we pick back up, it's just like nothing's happened.
Right.
Yeah, she's got some stories too. She's got a friend that I've never met yet that has to be nice to meet her here to do it. That would be kind of cool. That's one of the things I'm thinking about.
Unless you don't get along.
And
That'd be a
I
little
don't
awkward.
I don't see how we wouldn't.
Yeah.
Just from what Cheryl told me about with her. But yeah, we all have some stories, and we've all had some experiences, good and well, not so good.
Well, I'm very excited to hear those. You know what I mean? Like, I can't wait to be a part of that conversation. I think it's going to be good.
Mine, the one of the not so good ones, probably the worst of the not so good ones. I'd probably tell you off mic, and we'll see if I'd be comfortable enough doing it on. Because that's one I don't share with very many people. There are only a small handful of people that know that. Although I've told more now, probably in the last 10 years than I've probably ever told.
Yeah.
Because it's getting a little bit easier for me, but it's still something that really, really bothers me.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm here, man. I'm here for sure. But there's going to be a lot of cool topics coming up. Which, I can't wait. We're going to have multiple guests on. That I'm excited for. I can't wait to have a full panel here and just to have some call-ins as well. I know we're going to do conspiracy theory. I know we're going to do some more.
We can have some people that want to join us but can't actually make it here. You know, it's like, give us a call. We'll get you on.
Yeah.
You can join us with the phone.
Also, if there's topics that you want to hear, just make sure you like and subscribe down below and send a message to us, and we'll make sure we do a special.
We have to set all that stuff up yet too. Where to.
Yeah.
That's not my area of expertise. Is all this stuff you see laid out in front of us and making all this stuff work. That's my area of expertise. I told you, if you want to do this, I'll make it happen. But when it comes to everything else, that's on you. I have no interest in that. Even though I know we have to do it, it's nothing that I'm interested in. So therefore, I probably wouldn't be good at it. I'm good at this because I'm interested and I enjoy this.
Yeah. Well, I'm interested in all the topics we have. We have tons of topics.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, we've got a lot of topics. Every day makes me just want to say,
Excuse me while I whip this out.
So,
Should have a doctor look at that. Just
I went to my doctor yesterday. I had a doctor's appointment yesterday.
Because of the last podcast we did?
No, that was just pure depression because that one sucked.
That's terrible. My God.
They're not all going to be gold. That's just the way it is.
That was painful.
But no, I had just a regular scheduled doctor's visit. And, I was put on, at my age, I was put on blood pressure medication.
Hey, welcome to the family, dude.
Guess what?
Yeah.
You know, my blood pressure is now?
Oh.
It's just like a point or two below what's considered good.
Well, that's good then.
The 120 over 80?
Yeah.
I'm like 117 over
That's awesome.
70,
So it worked for
77
you.
or something like that. Yeah. He is absolutely, he's like, oh, this is great. I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of happy about it too.
Yeah, that's good. Was it super high?
No, it wasn't super high, but it was high.
Quick story. Ready? Want to hear this? How high my blood pressure went when I found out I had high blood pressure. This is a Dr. Myke true blood pressure story. Okay? Skiing in Vermont, middle of the winter. I'm in a condo with my girlfriend at the time. I was doing my first master's degree. So she went to bed. I'm still up writing papers. Okay? I was sick as a dog. And I mean sick. So I'm typing papers and my nose is running constantly. So I didn't think anything of it. So as I'm still typing, I'm wiping my nose. And I didn't realize till
that you were wiping blood.
I was wiping blood.
I somehow I saw that coming.
So all of a sudden I'm like,
not good.
So I'm like, okay, that's not good. So I got up, and as soon as I got up, blood started pouring out of my nose, pouring. So I ran into the bathroom and I'm trying to get something. I didn't know what was going on. So I'm trying to get something to stop the bleeding. So I'm leaning back, I'm pinching my nose, do everything you've heard of to stop a blood. Okay, doesn't work.
Stuff in the old tissue, something
right.
Like
so
that. Yeah.
anything. So now it's trying to clot because stuff coming out is so disgusting. I've never seen anything like that.
Well, that's good that you were clotting.
I was trying to. Wasn't working. So about 10 minutes later, the bathroom looked like a murder scene. I mean, complete wall-to-wall red. And I was like, oh, man, like, she's asleep. She's not going to know what's going on. So I ran into the room, and I'm like, you have to get up. I think I'm dying. Like, you have to take me. I need help. So we went to the emergency room.
If you had been on a blood thinner for anything when that happened, you'd be dead.
Probably. Yeah, because it wouldn't have clotted.
It would have just poured right out. Yeah.
I bled all the way from that 10 to 15 minutes in the bathroom, all the way in the car to the emergency room, which was like 15 to 20 minutes away. And I finally, when I got out of the car at the emergency room, I finally stopped bleeding. And then I walked in the emergency room. They took my blood pressure. And the doctor comes in and he said, if you had not had a bloody nose, you would have stroked out and died. And he's like, I had to lay there. So they put me on, the first time they put me on a blood.
You got lucky. The blood vessels in the nose broke first before any of the ones in your brain.
Yeah. Well, there's just lots of room up there.
Crap.
I'm just saying. So I had to lay in the hospital room, and they gave me one pill to take my blood pressure down. I had to wait there for 12 hours until my blood pressure came down before they let me go. It was terrible. I've been on blood pressure meds ever since. That's crazy.
No kidding.
Crazy. Almost died that night. That was not good.
No, it's not.
Not good.
Especially at your age, because you're younger than I am.
Well, back then I was like 23. 24.
That was even younger, yeah.
Yeah. So that was only 3 years ago. Just saying.
Rub it in.
Yeah.
Anyway. Kids. Oh, pardon me.
So, yeah, blood pressure, no joke.
What was your blood pressure?
At that point, it was 200 over. Yeah, I should have died. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, damn, dude.
He's like, I've never seen it this bad. And he's like, what's your history
Mine
of
was
blood
like
pressure?
140.
And I was
over,
like, I run that
140
normal.
over, I think it was, in the second one was just around 100.
That's what I run, right? If you took my pressure right now, guarantee it's 140 over 100. Guaranteed.
And that's good
with,
for you.
That's with medicine.
What the hell, dude?
Yeah, that's bad.
No wonder you don't get upset easy. That's good. You can't.
No, I can't.
That's good. That's very good.
Yeah, that's a scary thing. But
wow.
Well, welcome to the family. Yeah, that's a little pills.
Well, December he put me on them first, and it's working for me. It's working very well.
You know what was super cool about, because they like pin cushioned me, so that was like the lab rat for which one I would work. So one that they gave me, all my hair started falling out, which was super cool. It's a super cool side effect, is to just have clumps of hair fall out of your head when you're 23. So, yeah. So
we can give you one where your hair will fall out, or one where your
PSNORKis. Yeah, you got a
PSNORKis will fall off. It's like, let me think.
One do I
want? I've got hats in the closet. Yeah. I'll take this one.
Yeah. And my hat purchasing went skyrocket.
The hat budget went through the freaking roof for the rest of that year.
Yeah. So it was blood pressure. Make sure you go to the doctor and get checked. That's what.
Is yours does yours have diuretic properties?
It does now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
That's the one thing I always used to be when, as my dad got older and we would travel, we'd leave the house and like a first half hour, it's like, I have to stop.
Yeah.
I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Well, guess what? Hello.
That guy.
I'm
you
that
became
guy.
your dad.
I'm like, damn it.
Yeah. That happens.
Damn it.
That's what happens. You get old. That's what happens. Yeah. So now, I mean, if it didn't, because of this, like I would, it would to retain water like crazy. It's nuts. But enough of our medical problems.
Yeah, but it's nothing that a bunch of other people don't go through. And the ones that don't go through it, your day is coming.
Yeah. Laugh now.
Laugh
That's
now
what
while
I
you
did.
can, because I know I did.
Yeah, me too. I was like, whoa, that sucks. You got to take a pill every day? But now I take like Skittles, I think.
Yeah, right.
Pop them like Skittles.
Did you get the pill box?
Yeah, I did. I had to. Now I can't carry all that around.
Dude.
Ever see those change purses on your belt? They're like, click, 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 click. That's what I got.
Yeah. Oh my God. I was 55 before I finally had to get a damn pill. But
That's good though.
I've never taken any type of. When I was a kid, when I was young, I was what they called then hyperactive. Now they say ADD, and I was one of the first ones they put in Ritalin back in the 60s,
right.
60s, 70s, and I had to take that once a day, or was it twice? I actually don't remember that part of it, but then that went away.
Right.
But other than that, I have gone my entire life with only like, hey, you get a cold, you get the flu, you get strep throat. Okay, here's your this, here's your that for a week.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yep.
But now I'm finally caught up to the point where it's like, I got this little pill box going to be with me for the rest of my life.
Yep. Makes you look at people a little differently, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Fortunately, there are only 4 things in it.
Wow, that's not bad.
No, it's two blood pressure, 1 cholesterol, or is it 2 cholesterol, 1 blood pressure? No, it's 1 blood pressure and then a mild one to back it up.
Yeah.
And a cholesterol and vitamin D.
Nice.
That's all I that's all I have right now, and hopefully that's all I need.
Yeah, well, hopefully.
So,
but it gets worse.
Yeah. Well, I remember my aunt. Oh my dude, her pill box. She almost couldn't close the damn lid every day.
That's crazy. Well, everything has a side effect, and then you take another pill for that other side effect. And then, this one will keep you low on potassium, so now you have to take a potassium pill.
I'm on, and I don't mind saying this, one of the ones I'm on is the blood pressure is lisinopril.
Oh, yeah, I used to take that.
All right. One of the little side effects, which is not a big deal, but just annoying, is get this stupid little dry cough.
Coughing, yeah.
Well, wasn't that great all last year and early this year during COVID? Every time I'd cough, everyone would be looking at me like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, yeah. It's my blood pressure. Trust me, I'm fine. I'm okay. Yeah, stay away from him. He got the Chinese virus. And no, I don't. Trust me, I don't.
And you know what? That brings up another topic altogether that we're trying to avoid, but I really don't think we're going to be able to. Hey, guess what?
We have a minute left, so we can avoid it for the rest of today and maybe stick our foot in that bear trap another time.
Sounds like a plan.
Thank you very much.
Sounds like a plan. Good show, Madman. Good stuff.
And you too, my friend. Yes, thank you for joining us on this Wednesday edition of the PSNORKIS podcast. We'll talk about just about anything. We don't offend anybody, but we also don't tap dance around feelings because we're real people talking about real subjects. That's what we do, and that's what we're going to keep doing. And hopefully, you guys like it. And hey, here's a topic you want to hear about. By all means, let us know. We'll let you know how to do that in a little while because, well, we're still trying to figure this out. We're new to this, but we're going to get there, and we're going to have some fun. So keep tuned. Hope you like it. The PSNORKIS podcast. See you again next time.
See you next time.